examinations. After much furor and controversy, now the centre has filed an affidavit over NEET in the Supreme Court. The centre, in fact, says that scrapping the entire examination in absence of any proof regarding a large-scale breach of confidentiality is something that needs to be looked at. It's also submitted that in the absence of any proof of any large-scale breach of confidentiality in a pan-India examination, it would not be a rational step to scrap the examination. We will delve deeper into it, considering the kind of furor that NEET UG examinations have created after the paper leak instances and after the kind of dharnas that we have seen and they have reported from various parts of the country, the visuals of which we are putting out for our viewers. Now there is an affidavit of the centre before the Supreme Court of the country, and they in fact are speaking about how it will not be rational to go ahead and scrap the entire examination. Ananya, who's got us that report, is with us on the broadcast. Ananya, over to you.
Well, definitely, a big statement coming in from, in fact, the central government, wherein the central government has now, filed an affidavit before, in fact, the Supreme Court, clearly going on to say that, scrapping the whole examination is in absence of any proof regarding large-scale breach of confidentiality. It's something that is not correct. That should not have happened. Not only this, that should not happen. Not only this, they say that the people who have breached this confidentiality, the people who actually have leaked these particular papers should be dealt with full force of law. It also goes on to talk about that high-level committee that the Ministry of Education under in fact the Minister of Education, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, was constituted with regards to how in fact this committee would be looking into it, how transparency should be maintained in such big public examinations, and recommendations would come in from this committee as well. It also goes on to say that the government is committed to actually ensure the sanctity of the examinations and protect the interests of students to ensure transparency and fairness. The government also talks about this new law that has been brought in with regards to in the Parliament with regards to Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024, which was enacted on the February 12th, 2024, and very clearly and categorically, the government not in favor of conducting a re-NEET at this particular point of time, because they say that there is no large-scale evidence when it comes to a large breach of confidentiality that has taken place. Though there are cases of paper leaks, but on a larger scale, that has not happened, is what, in fact, the Government of India has gone on to say. This affidavit has been filed by, in fact, the Ministry of Education and the Union of India before the topmost of the country. The hearing, if you remember, is to happen on, in fact, the 8th now. And very clearly, at this particular point of time, this would determine how the Supreme Court would actually be dealing with it, because the government says that, a re-NEET should not be happening because lakhs of students would actually be affected. But at the same point of time, whether the students who have suffered such a big losses due to this particular examination, students who have seen that they should not that they were having wrong marks and grace marks issue had happened. So what would happen to those students as well? So that is the real question as to who would benefit and whether a re-NEET would be conducted or not. The centre says at this particular point of time the same cannot happen.
Okay.
But what happens next is something that would be very, very interesting to see.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ananya. Ananya, they're mentioning about this committee that, of course, will be talking about recommendations and reforms as far as NEET UG is concerned. Remember, the examinations for the postgraduate NEET courses have also been announced for August. And all of this, in the middle of all of this, there has been this affidavit that has been put forth in the Supreme Court by the centre.